Abot. Ay, salamat. Bagal lang lahat. Ay, ito po, bumukas na. nga yan.
Hindi.
Ayan o.
Para dito yung
For 100 po. Download. Mag-live streaming sila.
Thank you, Rio.
Pwede ba lang yun? Ito. Pwede nyo sa USB. Nagaling po. Para ito na lang ang mag-ano? Live stream.
Siguro ko na natin muna yung talent sa
Pero tuloy nyo lang sana ito.
kasi manipis siya.
Wala. Pero huwag niyo patayin yung basta kasi
Iwan ko na lang po, sir. Kasi nawala naman po IP address mo. Lalagay niyo lang po sa laptop. Tapos yun, pag-browse niyo.
pero meron na yung YouTube. Opo.
dedicated yung video nila. Kasi bibigyan ko sila. Wow, kasi mapuputo yung talaga live stream mo. Siyempre, hindi lang kasusama yung wifi. Pero kung pwede din. May laptop gaming. Ganyan ko lang dedicated guy. Para sa sarili din.
Hindi, ito na yung kanina.
Pero hindi mabilis sila.
Ayan, sa mga sir.
Kailan?
Kaya lang ako malabo yan lang kasi cellphone niya ako.
Kailan?
Dapat HD. 200 din. 200. Dedicated line yun. Mag-HD na pa. Makakakita ka man sa plato, reuse na lang.
Pero may wifi dala niyo.
Yan ang kasi na yung
So, dito kami sa...
okay lang. Naka-live na kami.
Oo, tama yan.
Tapos yun.
Ano pala, kasi ang viewing nyo nga pala.
Yun lang. Okay lang yan kasi.
Wala din. Kasi ang kailangan nga pala natin, yung gusto kasi mangyari, yung HD yung ano nyo, yung camera. Para maganda yung diba? Mga malinaw.
Ito sa amin sa Hindi kasi may support siya. Hindi lang na pinasupport. Hindi sila support.
Ayan o, hindi.
Kaya na lang kaya.
Tapos siya o.
Kasi malaki kasi. Pero nasa yan yan.
Ito ba yan?
Ano ba yan? Pera yan.
Yan na. Talisin na ako.
Nakikita niya lang po yung ano, laman.
Pero ito siya, pag nasa
sana, ganyan din laptop yun lang.
Sony rin eh. Order. Ganda sana kung tuloy-tuloy. Di kasi namin lahat testing.
Video ko sir, tapos na.
Oh, nandun. Sana nakikita yung okay. Di pa. Pero na-try mo na to.
Sir,
Bakit ito online? Hindi online yun.
Sa web.
process kaya tayo sa
Ayun siya.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to ask everyone to please settle down as we will be starting with the program in a few minutes. Thank you.
Sabihin ko na lang yung kung sakali.
Oh, sige.
Again, we would like to ask settle down as we will be starting with the program in a few minutes. Thank you.
Text ko muna. Ano na? Para Sarah. dami na gumagamit. Okay, yun na to. Yun. I-share na niya to eh. Ito kung ano na to. Hindi kayo ang importante lang, tuloy-tuloy lang sana.
Kaso kung marami na pong gumagamit ng wifi, wifi po
Ikal ko, computer.
Kita niyo po kanina, may tigil. Kasi siguro nasasapawan ng mga user.
Alam mo. Konti lang naman kami. Kailan baka may mga hotspot?
Kasi pag may humingi po kasi sa amin ng live streaming, UTP po talaga dedicated na yung binibigay namin. Para hindi siya napupunta.
Pero pag anong gamit na camera yun?
Ay,
Ang SLR?
talagang ano na siya.
Ay, yung ganito. Tapos saksak ka.
Yung sa kanya siya. Yung kay Kat.
Apat siya. Diretso na siya.
Kasi nagla-live stream kami.
Nagamit na pero kailangan HDMI cable. Pag yung isa namin yun, ano na yun?
Sa mga first of all, pamilya mga kapagsansya. Meron na lang po tapos yung po ng transport po. Kasi transport linya ko. Pero pwede mo kasi lumakad ako.
Yan kaya, pwede diretso sa laptop yan.
Ito rin po, HDMI din ang kailangan.
HDMI din.
Oo.
Yan yung ano niya,
Opo.
memory.
HDMI din.
Na maliit. Pwede siguro ito.
Naman, darating sa Malacanang Press.
Oh, mamaya.
Hindi. Hindi po siya.
Hindi. Ang pangalan to.
USB yata ito eh.
Oo.
Si Erang Bear.
Ay,
Pangalan siya rin.
Yung dulo niya.
Laki.
Ayan.
Malaki yata itong HDMI.
TV.
Oo, malaki itong dun sa pang ano siya eh, pang projector sa administration. Kailangan maliit. Yung mini HDMI.
Parehas lang ba sa media sa lang?
Parang meron silang sarili eh.
Eh ako, bakit ako wala?
Again, I would like to remind everyone to please take your seats and settle down as we will begin with the program in a few minutes. Thank you.
Ren. R-E-N. Adi, sa akin na yun.
Text na lang po ako, Burns po ah.
Kalapitan tayo.
Yes.
Ito. teritoryo mo.
Saan ang focus natin?
Wala, dito lang muna. Ikot ka lang. Dito.
Cellphone gamit?
Oo.
Again, we'd like to remind everyone to please take your seats and settle down until we start in a minute. Thank you.
Baka pwede mo itaas kasi putol pag sa camera namin.
Ah, ganun.
Check.
Sir, hindi.
Taas ba?
Parang baba. Yan yung medyo ibababa.
Ganun, ganun.
Baliktad sir. Sakit ba? Kaya hintayin natin sir. Medyo delayed yung pinili. Delayed na lang. Yan.
Sige na lang. Sige.
Sunsok na lang.
Wala yung manis.
Okay na sir. Sabihan mo lang ako sir. Ayaw ko mas.
Hindi. Nag-live na kasi sa Mandala. Crazy. Hanggang doon na.
Pag nag-zoom ka dito.
Hindi na mga kung gaano ka. Narinig dito ay.
Narinig sir.
Pero minute yun na eh.
Kaya ako nga alam na nandito si Tex Dalini.
Suotin mo.
Hindi naman nag-zoom pa. Okay na ba?
Ano lang konti. Narinig dito. Nagkaroon na.
Tagal nung delay. Tagal nung delay sa akin. Tagal nung delay. Ayan.
Ayun, kanina.
Yung sa'yo.
Kasi kung malapit ito kasi.
Naririnig tayo.
Anyway, pag mag-start naman lang.
Sir, ano page mo to? So, kailangan
Ganyan lang. Oh, sige.
ito pa.
Dapat makita.
Ayan. Ganyan sir. Baba mo po konti. Delay na. May pal. May...
Doon ba yun?
May makikita mo ba yung mga comments nila, sir?
Hindi na siya.
Sir, may tumatawag.
Sa amin.
May tumatawag. Sir, ganyan na itsura.
Dapat ganyan.
Ayan na itsura niya ngayon.
So,
Okay na.
okay lang yan. Sige. Steady lang.
Ladies and gentlemen, please settle down as we will start the program. Thank you. Again, we'd like to ask everyone to please settle down as we will start the program. Thank you. Again, we would like to ask everyone to please take your seats and settle down. We will begin the program right now. Thank you. Again, please take your seats and kindly settle down. We will begin right now. Thank you.
Oo nga. Yung sana. Yung sana. Ganda. Pero at least, okay na to. Nilakihan ko lang. Sayang yun. Ganun. Maganda yun. Hindi pa kasi namin nagamit yung mga cellphone. Buk, matsa mo daw. Tingnan mo daw.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise Summit. And now, please all rise for the invocation to be led by the Director of the Bureau of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Mr. Jerry Claveciles.
Okay, before we start anything, let us commit our event to the Lord. Heavenly Father, the true and the living God, most merciful and forgiving, we glorify your name as we are gathered today for the 2018 National MSME Summit. Bring honor to your name, Lord, for you alone are worthy to be praised. Thank you for allowing us to mount this event, for the resources made available, for the support and cooperation of the various stakeholders, both from government and private sectors, and most of all, the micro, small, and medium enterprises all over the country. We pray for all those in the program that you would give them your wisdom and discernment as they speak. May they bring about positive reactions to everyone. We ask that as we interact, you would instill in our minds and hearts the reality that we are all but passing in this life. We pray for your great healing on the Philippines. Forgive us for every transgression we have done against you. Shine your face on us, Lord God. We pray that you would unify your people for the glory of your name. Wake us up, Lord. Remind us to live aware to redeem the time, to listen to your words, to be willing to make a difference in this land. These things we pray in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please remain standing for the Philippine National Anthem. You can now take your seats. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And now please welcome your host for today from the Bloomberg TV Philippines and a successful entrepreneur himself. He's the co-founder of Mercato Central Philippines, the largest and most popular weekend food market and food incubator in the country. Let us all
for this truly momentous occasion to all our dear guests who have come into and you know, since this is all about networking, let me just give a minute. Please stand up and the other table, introduce yourself. Okay, please stand up. Shake their hand, give them your card. Meet your fellow entrepreneurs and the other. Kayo naman dyan. Para mag-isa tayo na, please stand up, greet some. Ito na po yung pagkakataon ninyo. Make some new networks, make some new contacts as we begin with the very fruitful MSME Summit. Summit. I'd like to thank all the Philippines. Our MSMEs comprise 99.6% of businesses around the country. Not only that, our MSMEs employ 63.3% of the total workforce in the country. So let's give ourselves a round of applause, please, to all the MSMEs for employing the Filipino people. Our MSMEs are significant inclusive growth. To all of our dear guests, I
today, resource speakers, moderator, mentors, coaches, angelpreneurs, our development partners, to the members from civil society, to our fellow workers in government, and of course to our DTI team. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the 2018 National MSME Summit. In May 2008, or 2008, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo signed into law Republic Act number 9501, otherwise known as the Magna Carta for Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises. Section 16 of that law declared the second week of July every year as MSME Development Week, with the MSME Council, the DTI, and the Small Business Corporation jointly responsible in organizing activities for the event. So, from July 8 to 14 this year, we are mandated by law to institute continuing awareness of the primacy of small business in nation building and in people empowerment. and to celebrate and espouse the firm commitment of the state in the promotion, growth, and development of small business. But allow me to say this with pride and a sense of accomplishment. Every week in the past 2 years seems to always be MSME Week. Yes, I dare say that government's focus on MSME sector has been extra significant in recent years. In fact, in 2017 was a busy and productive year as we earnestly pursued 5 strategic goals through the joint efforts of government and the private sector. We were able to, first, strengthen the structure of the MSME assistance via the Negosyo Center, which we now have 892, make available more funds for inclusive financing through P3, leveling up the mentoring support through our Kapatid Mentor Me program, expanded reach of technology and innovation support through our shared service facilities and support from the Department of Science and Technology, mainstream MSMEs in the domestic markets through concept stores, Bolakal, Auto Stores, and Auto Philippine Hub. Later, no less than the country's MSMEs our DTI Secretary will make a full report of his efforts. Today, we commence the celebration of MSME Week here in Clark with no less than the President joining us later today. This week is full, and we invite you to join the various activities organized by the DTI regional and provincial offices nationwide. Our Philippine Trade Training Center, or PTTC, has also lined up a series of free training for our MSMEs. The theme of this year's summit is Accelerating 7 M's for Competitive MSMEs, largely inspired by our DTI Secretary. As a backstory, when the DTI Secretary Mon Lopez assumed office, it was clear that micro, small, and medium enterprises was our leader's top priority. It was evident amongst us in the DTI that MSMEs have a soft spot in the DTI Secretary's heart and mind, rooted, of course, from his Go Negosyo advocacy. He is an action man, and as we saw during his term, until now, on the domestic front or international, MSMEs remain front and center in the DTI agenda. SecMon, as we call him fondly, came up with 7M's roadmap, which became the DTI's battle cry. Our people in the field, from regional directors, provincial directors, SME councilors, Negosyo Center councilors, all embraced, memorized the 7M's. Mindset change, mastery, mentoring, money, machines, markets, and models of business. Thus, it is fitting as we have adopted the theme Accelerating 7M's for Competitive MSMEs to convey a simple message, a commitment to intensify MSME programs, focus, and the elements of success. The main objective of the 2018 National MSME Summit is to define how our MSMEs can be more competitive at a time when the business environment has evolved due to technology and innovation and increasing competition. Thus today, we will tackle how to facilitate ease of doing business. This session will define the role of government in encouraging regulation that is simple, transparent, efficient. We support regulatory reforms that promote business expansion and innovation and competitiveness. The second session aims to inspire. We will showcase transforming MSMEs and shall hear real-life stories of an entrepreneur's journey in business, in building its successful business, and remarkable lessons that they pass on to other aspiring entrepreneurs. The third session will discuss financing MSMEs growth and innovation. We have invited resource persons who will explain emerging and innovative financing models and the policy reform trends of business models. Will present innovations that spur new business models enabled by advanced technology. And finally, Our MSMEs need to seize market opportunities. This session will tackle ways in tapping new markets, how branding, social connections, and data science matter in sustaining markets. We hope you will find these sessions fruitful as they were carefully designed for knowledge sharing. But the summit is also about networking. We encourage each one to actively participate in the sessions and discussions and interact with fellow entrepreneurs, resource persons, government officials, and other participants. Before I end, as I may not have the chance to acknowledge all our mentors, angelpreneurs, and resource speakers, let me say how extremely grateful we are for your generosity and spirit of community with your sharing of your time and expertise. The work continues, and we look forward to your continued support towards our unified action to accelerate MSME development. With that, I welcome all of you to this year's summit and wish each and everyone a wonderful and fruitful day ahead. Magandang umaga po ulit sa inyo.
Again, thank you so much. You said the importance of entrepreneurship and nation building. May I please call here on stage to deliver his keynote address for the national and
Let me DDI family, can we ask you to stand up? Para ito yung mga from all divisions, all departments, from the regional office, CUODB, Trade, Investment Promotion Group, Management Service, Consumer Protection, at Industry Development. And of course, to our long-time partner forever, Joey, si Go Negosyo family. Diyan po ako pinanganak. Overage. And let me also acknowledge the MSME Council, the members of Representative Finance, the market, all the MSME around the country. The Micro SME Development Council po yan. Ito naman po ang mga entrepreneurship champion sa Kongreso, ang mga nagsusuporta ng malaki po, at kung di sa kanila, wala po tayong budget. At sila po talaga nagbibigay ng mga resources para maganda ang programa at makaabot sa kaduluduluan ng Pilipinas ang pag-SMEs. Sila, ang chairman po ng SME, si Congressman Onabia, Congressman Ted Montoro, Congressman Roel Peter Lonzaga, and Congresswoman Jocelyn Limcay Chong. Ano po nabanggit ko lahat? Kung hindi po ay patay ako mamaya. Ang ating mga panelists, the partners, programs, shared service facility, conduits in the P3, our financing program. All of you dear MSMEs, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course our mentors, the entrepreneurs, the original and the new mentors. Happy to share with you. The yearly National Micro SME Summit is one of the events being organized by the Micro SME Development Council. At yan po ang Secretariat ng ating Bureau of Micro SME Development Bureau to promote the development of micro SMEs in our country. It also coincides with the annual celebration of the Micro SME Week, which recognizes the role and importance of micro SMEs in our country. The agenda of 2018 National Micro SME Summit is to help MSMEs become empowered, enabled, and competitive, especially at a time when business community and of the business conditions and technology and innovations have seen great changes. The Philippine economy, as you know, is growing by about 6.8%. The first quarter grew 6.7 last year. But the more important part of that, the solid foundation, it's backed up now by a very strong manufacturing growth of 8%. It used to be just growing at about 2 to 3%. So the power now of the GDP, the economic growth, is now really supported by strong economic fundamentals. And that's the manufacturing sector kung nasaan po ang micro SMEs. At nandyan po ang talagang nag-build na ating base that hopefully will be so huge, so large that we will eventually become a trade surplus country. Hanggang hindi po natin bubuo ang micro SME at ang strong manufacturing and export base, we will forever be a trade deficit country. So it's important po, malaki po ang role ng SMEs that you really form part of our manufacturing, even service exports, because you will be a big contributor to really realizing yung trade surplus situation ng ating bansa. And it will, I know it will take many more years, hopefully sooner than later, because it has been a structural problem for the past many decades. But we have started the fight against the deficit, and definitely we are building a strong manufacturing base, growing by 8%. Last year, third quarter, it even grew 9.4%. So ganun na po kalakas ang ating manufacturing sector. The good thing is that the other sectors, even service sector, is also still growing at 6 to 7%. The agriculture sector, which used to be negative growth in the past years, have started to turn around also. Last year, 3.5%, first quarter, 1.5%. So it's now on a positive territory, and wala lang maraming bagyo. I think we will have very huge agriculture yields this year. We're also happy to know that all our empowering programs for micro SMEs development has resulted in more registration of businesses. We always see in the statistics, the PSA, Philippine Statistics Agency, always gives us a number of about 960 plus thousand of micro SMEs. Now we're trying to, in our Philippine business registry, we're trying to gather all these registration that are taking place in the LGUs. Yung nagre-register po ng mayor's permit. So tinototal po namin, hindi lang po nagbibigay ang iba pang LGUs, but based on our coverage of the actual data that came in, it's trending to be 1.5 million already ang micro SMEs. From 900 plus thousand, we are trending to be 1.5 million already. Sige, palapakan naman nito. Ito yung idea. Dahil yun po ay celebration, kaya magandang panahon na yung celebration ng micro SMEs po yun. Hindi po yun ng DTI, hindi po yun ng isang grupo, tayo pong lahat yun. Tayo pong lahat yun. The DTI, together with our partners from government and private sector, would like to keep this momentum going. More importantly, we want to ensure that our economic heroes, the micro SMEs, are empowered and prepared for the challenges we face today. DTI, as chair of the Micro SME Development Council, created under the Magna Carta for MSMEs, led the work on preparing My Development Plan 2017 to 2022. That's why we have called many of you here today, the enablers, the lecturers, the mentors, the academia, the youth, women entrepreneurs, chief executives locally, civil society, even our international development partners, to help us map the direction we want to take for our where nobody competes. Gone are the days na yung mga old style, backward type of micro SMEs. We're talking of smarter entrepreneurs. Hindi smart ng PLDT. Smarter entrepreneurs, the globally competitive, that can really fight it out in the international market. First, we want to make them part of the local value chain, to be suppliers of bigger companies or to be suppliers to consumers, B2C. Then, as they develop their skills and the competency, they move on to become part of the global value chain. Now they become exporters. And that's very critical. Again, helping build the manufacturing base for exports. Government agencies like the ILG and local government units partnered with our entrepreneurs to jointly identify an action plan to improve the business climate for micro SMEs. On the finance side, we called on those agencies that could help draw up solutions to address micro SMEs' concerns in access to financing. We also called on the youth, the Departments of Education, Labor, DOLE, the TESDA, our universities, civil society to call on entrepreneurial Filipinos across ages and across industries. On technology and innovation, we called on key enablers, the DOST, our partner in technology and innovation, and the DICT for information and communications technology, the tech industries, the industry associations, the packaging experts, and the academy. We asked them how can they help in bringing technology and innovation as well as digital technology closer to our micro SMEs. So yung pagka-digital po, from knowledge, acquisition, digital training, kasama na rin ang digital mentoring, kasama na rin yung digital in financial access. So the fintech, Central Bank is very much active in this, BSP. And also, of course, the e-commerce, online marketing. Technology is the greatest equalizer. So it really lends a lot of support to micro SMEs. They don't have to travel far and away just to get new ideas on designs, on products, on packaging. The technology is there. Online information. Now, for market development, we call on industry players, retailers, entrepreneurial associations, artists, service industries, exporters associations, young and women entrepreneurs, and we ask this group to join the discussions on how to help micro SMEs get better access opportunities in the domestic. So a lot of Philippine hub, which are market incubators, no? So that SMEs will have the chance for prime spot, mainstream market in the malls, ground floor. It's not at the 5th floor where people pass, and it's every day. It's not just the weekend. And that's given for free. Libre po. Kaya ang ating mga kababayang micro SMEs, they get the chance for their products to be displayed. Pero may isang requirement po ang DTI. It has to be really globally competitive. The packaging, the product quality has to stand out. Because our principle is that it has to fit in all the other products in the malls, including imported products. So, kailangan ibang dating talaga. So, yan po, kinu-curate po yan, and I'll report to you, give you some numbers later, na that will really, good stories to tell by now, dahil maganda po ang development natin dyan sa initiatives na yan. So, this is a result of our collective aspirations, the Google government approach to policy and program development, and our joint desire to build new collaborations and coalitions between government and the private sector. More importantly, from our realization for the need to have a paradigm change, a mindset change for our micro SMEs to become more entrepreneurial, hindi na yung simple-simple lang na micro SME, to be more innovative, to embrace technology, to embrace digital technology, to always look for innovation, to transform themselves and to achieve higher goals in their business and in their lives. These are now embodied and implemented in the Micro SME Development Plan of 2017 to 2022, which President Rodrigo Roa Duterte approved with Executive Order number 50. And as you know, our President, nung pumasok po ako sa DTI at tayo po ay naimbitahan, siya po ang sabi lang sa akin, Mon, let us help the small guys, ang mga maliliit nating mga kababayan. At ang maliliit, hindi ibig sabihin SME lang. Yung micro mismo, pati na yung mga tindera sa palengke, tindera sa karinderya, lahat po, all those business models will be encouraged to level up so that they really provide greater value added. Because as we all know, the profit is in the value adding. The profit is in that extra value that you add on to your raw material, to your inputs. Otherwise, you will just be traders that will add simple markup. But if you provide other services, better improvement, ang ganda po ng nagagawa in terms of improving the prosperity aspect ng mga micro SMEs. And this to us is the real solution to poverty, making entrepreneurs really smarter. And government will provide all this support system. Sabi nga, magbigay tayo ng oportunidad at abilidad para lahat ay umunlad. So, sawa na yung mga kasama ko dun sa aking phrase na yun. So, the plan prepares micro SMEs for the future. In particular, the age of the fourth industrial revolution. So, pinag-uusapan na yan. Including also, of course, the digital platform. Changing our lives in ways we've never imagined. Our micro SMEs must face and understand new jargons and challenges. For example, the fusion of technologies and emergence of innovation in areas that are taking us by surprise, including robotics, artificial intelligence, blockchain, nanotechnology, quantum computing, and biotechnology, to say the least. So we're not asking all micro SMEs to go into this, even up to biotech, but to the extent they can. But even talking to the biotech researchers, we convert them to become entrepreneurial by converting their findings, their inventions, their biotech solutions into actual business. So we also have this crop of biotechnologies, even as entrepreneurs. And of course, I must acknowledge our technology partner, PLDT Smart, commercial. They are providing the free live stream. We are live stream. Tama ba? Okay. Lapak naman natin si PLDT. A very short guy, Gabi Kui. 6'5" lang naman siya. The challenge is that while these disruptive innovations are happening, the government must provide an enabling environment for micro SMEs to fully tap their potential. And what's more, we have to make business easier for them. So in the EO15, ito naman yung narinig is doing business, no? Or the Efficient Government Service Delivery Act of 2018. We can now provide greater support to micro SMEs. Sa sobrang higpit po ng EODB, baka mawala na ng trabahador sa gobyerno. Because may strike 2 policy po of 1 million to 6 million. So, ganun lang naman po. And for future of all retirement benefits, two-strike policy. But that will be discussed in the first forum. As mentioned, to ensure the 5 strategic goals of micro SME, the Micro SME Council has formed 5 committees responsible for policy formulation, monitoring, implementation, benefiting each goal. So we have a committee on business climate, we have a committee on access to finance, a committee on management and labor capacities, technology and innovation, access to market. Each committee is comprised of members from government and private sector, and helping us to facilitate is of course no other than the famous PhD summa cum laude former NEDA Director General Shell Habito, and his business partner Ella Antonio, a former colleague of mine also in my NEDA days nung ako po ay bata pa. This afternoon we will report to President Duterte the 7-point action agenda of the MSME Development Council. This solid agenda will help us accelerate our 7 M's framework for successful entrepreneurship. That's mentioned earlier: mindset change, mastery, mentoring, money, machine, market access, and models of businesses. Moreover, this will ensure the entrepreneurs and enablers that they can transform themselves to meet the goals of the micro SME plan. So with regards to mindset change, the good news is that we are making headway in streamlining our processes in starting a business, especially with the passage of the EODB law. No? So yan po yung under the law, kasama dyan yung business one-stop shop to be established by LGUs. POSS, POSS, is a single common site or location for a single online website or portal that will provide a one-stop business facilitation service for the city or municipality's business permitting and licensing system. Micro SMEs will benefit greatly from the EODB law because the requirements for the issuance of permits will soon be decreased. Meron yung 3 days, 7 days, 20 days approval system. Requirements will be streamlined. May citizens charter na nakalina kaagad doon. Ano yung requirement? So pagpunta nyo, hindi yung kulang pa ho. Pagbalik mo, may kulang pa rin. Papabalikin ka na naman, may kulang pa rin. So lahat po yun will be listed and must be finite and hindi po indefinite. It might even be possible that there will be only, in the end, ito pong vision namin, one permit needed for the business in the future. Isa lang fill-upan mo, pupunta na yan sa SEC, pupunta na yan sa PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, yan na rin ang pupunta sa BIR, yan na rin ang pupunta sa mayor's permit. Isa na lang po yun. Tapos, hopefully, ito pala ang cellphone doon, online na yan. Kasi pag na-streamline na, kasunod na automation. So we are in that process. Give us maybe matagal yung proseso yan. But maybe hopefully 1 year or 2 years, at least sana bago kami umalis, unless umalis ka agad kami pag nag-federalism. But I'm sure the next administration will definitely continue with that beautiful project of being online, one touch, marami palang touch, one item. At importante, para ka na lang bumibili na bubuk ng ticket sa airlines. Fill up, you pay Maya or PayPal, and then print. Yun lang po. So yun ang ating vision. And we now are running with the help of Bindus, our partner in EODB, running a design sprint. Because we've been asking them, mag-zero-base tayo dyan sa design. Huwag na yung incremental change. Kasi pag incremental change, the other countries are also improving. So yung rank natin may not improve, baka mas spike pa kung mas malaki yung change nila, yung improvement nila, just like what happened last year. We improve, but the others improve much later. So yung rank natin, nag-slide. But nag-improve tayo ng score. So what we need is a big leap. So of course, with the help of Congress, pagtulungan po natin, isang form. Ano na kaagad tayo? Nandun na lahat ng requirements, sir. So, we'll work on that at parang gawin na natin online at napakadali na talaga. Yun ang ease of doing business. Okay. Of course, we are vigorously implementing the Go Negosyo Act. The Act lowers the cost of doing business for MSMEs and of course, it creates many negosyo centers. At present, we already have 892 bawat araw nanganganak. Every time I update this, palakpakan po natin ang lahat po kayo lahat. Dahil po, pati po ang PTI, mga provincial offices, regional offices, every time we update this, the following maybe 2 days, 3 days, nagdagdagan na naman. Only a few weeks ago, 883 yan, tanda ko. Few days ago, sorry, last week yata, ngayon 892 na. Baka pag mamayang hapon, iba na ho yan. So, at more than half, at least at 600 plus, 645 per bill during the administration. Pagkakan po natin. Hindi po tumitigil. Yan po ay programa ng nakaraang organisasyon, pinapalakas po ng current administration. That shows po yung ating consistency sa pursuit ng MSME development. And for this year alone, nakaka-410, 934 clients na. Oh, iba na yung nandito ko. Doon 456 na. Lumaki na. 456,000 na ang natulungan. Last year, we reached about 800 plus. 860,000. MSMEs or would-be micro entrepreneurs going into the negosyo centers. Ito po yung hindi mo na kailangan may kakilala ka sa DTI. Punta ka lang doon, may business counselor,
mag-business name registration ka, magtanong ka about saan pwedeng umutang, saan pwedeng may pondo P3, may pondo sa pagpapago at pag-isenso, saan pwedeng i-display yung product ko, lahat po ay tinutulungan ng mga negosyo centers. And moving forward on addressing mindset, we want to facilitate greater ease of doing business, strengthening institutions, tulad po ng MSME Council, ang SP Corp, ang EODP Law, at pagdating naman po sa partner natin, sila PA Joey Concepcion, ang AFI, ang PFA, ang PCCI, ang Philippine Marketing Association, mga lecturers and mentors po na nakapaligid dito. Meron nga dyan, mentees, mga tinuruan, naging mentors na, no? Nandyan sila. At napapasalamat din kami sa kanila. Ang mga negosyo centers people, ang head po ng negosyo center, nandyan po, pero lilipat na po siya. Si PD or RD na ngayon, RD Doris, nandyan po siya. O tayo ka na Doris, para makakita nila sino ang kasama ni Music Cell, Asset Bless, Asset Amina, Asset Delta sa negosyo centers. Okay. Ang maganda po dito sa aming partnership, sa pagtuturo, pag-mentor, we call it Kapatid Mentor Me. Kasama po si former USEC Merly Cruz. Yan. Kapatid Mentor Me, kapanood natin si USEC Merly, na hindi tumigil sa pagtulong sa SME. Kahit wala na siya dito, siya naman ngayon ang nasa negosyo. Okay, sa tulungan pa rin kami. Okay. We produce over 2,633 graduate mentees. Ito ho, hindi one time umattend. These are every week, mini-mentor sila for 9 or 10 weeks. On all subject matters, on entrepreneurship tools, marketing, finance, sales, supply chain, etc. Every week, ibang topic. 121 batches, over 88, 16 regions, 88 provinces, and yung sa umattend sa first day, kasi first day is open, over 5,000 na po ang naka-benefit din po sa lahat po ng mga seminars na yan. At iba pa, may grupo of mentees na nagtutuloy every week. So yun po yung 2,633. So these are good initiatives na tinutuloy po natin. And we realize the important and positive entrepreneurial mindset for Filipinos. We are preparing to launch a nationwide campaign on entrepreneurship education that's collaboration between government and private sector. Kasama din po part of the Youth Entrepreneurship Act, expand into vocational and training centers for micro SMEs with our partners from TESDA, among others. And before I go any further, I would like to point out that the Philippines has a demographic sweet spot. The median age, the average age is 23.1 years old. Napakabata po, which is equivalent to my age, hindi pa lang, equivalent age of a college graduate. With a population of approximately or over 100 million, this means most Filipinos are younger in age, and our country can generate more young entrepreneurs. Because of all this massive campaign, the orientation will no longer be just after graduating, magtatrabaho ako, mag-employ ako. Meron na nabuksan ang kanilang alternative into pursuing their passion, into pursuing market opportunities, into pursuing entrepreneurship. Under this nationwide campaign on entrepreneurship education, we have launched new initiatives. Yung dating PTTC, ginawa po natin ngayong Micro SME Academy. So, kung narinig niyo yung Philippine Training Center sa Buendia, it's Ross Boulevard. Yan po ngayon ay tinatawag na Micro SME Academy. O yung mga Micro SME volunteers. Marami pa po tayong mga nandyan po. Ibig sabihin lang po noon, all these courses, dati po ang PTTC, geared up for exporters. No? Training them para maging magaling exporters and they can export. But now we are expanding the modules, the curriculum to include more micro SME training programs para ma-cover na rin micro SME. So this is part of their life cycle, from a micro to small to medium, eventually to become an exporter. So tulungan na right from the start so that the growth will be faster. And again, we create smarter entrepreneurs. Now, under machines and models of businesses, the good news is that we've continued to expand the shared service facilities project to support the adoption of new technologies by micro SMEs and improve the quality of products they're producing. So we now have 227, over 2,227 SSFs. They've been established around the country, serving 215 plus beneficiaries, generating 111,000 plus jobs. Okay. Fulfilling the need for more intensified product development, technology, matchmaking activities. Meron kaming recent innovation na naman, Pack Pinas. It's all about packaging. Hearing out the problems of micro SMEs na hindi kami makabili ng packaging materials. Yan po ang mga shared service facility. So connected dyan, part of product development, their request is hindi sila maka-improve. Una, hindi nila alam paano mag-improve ng ganito. Una, hindi nila alam kailangan mag-improve ng packaging. Susunod, nalaman na nila kailangan mag-improve, paano naman mag-improve? Sinong tutulong sa amin? So nandiyan na ang DC Design Center Philippines, ang PTTC na MSME Academy na, ang SITEM, at mga design volunteers and experts who will help them in product development. And now, recently, even packaging development. So they realize, sige, kailangan mag-improve ng packaging. Nabigyan sila ng bagong design. Okay, mag-improve na ako. Ang kasunod noon, order na ako. Ito na, may minimum order quantity. Diba? Kailangan 10,000 pieces. Kailangan 50,000 pieces. Wala na silang ma-order. Hindi na sila maka-order. So, with our Pack Pinas, we are now linking packaging suppliers with SMEs. Ganun lang po kasimple. We conducted 3 fora in Cavite Oro, in Tacloban, and Cavite. So, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. At maganda ho ang turnout at maraming nagkikwento. Yung mga nag-improve ng packaging, they tell us stories, 400% growth in their business. So, ganun kalaki yung, because the packaging is the one talking for their products in the shelves. So, na-realize nila, kailangan talaga, the product should stand out. Sa dami ng produkto, pag pumasok tayo sa grocery, iba yung brand natin, andun lang, alam ni Mr. Edwin yan, kasi ang dami niyang groceries. Ang daming produkto, ang daming brand. Lumulubog yung product mo, hindi napapansin. So, it has to stand out. Parang sinasabi doon, buy me, buy me. So, yung packaging is really to stand out. At because of the intervention, na nabukas ang namulat ang kanilang mga isip na papaganda na sila at na-solve na yung minimum order quantity. So, hindi na kailangan, with the technology. So, yun na nga may mga technology, hindi naman pala lahat ng packaging kailangan may minimum order quantity. And there are other solutions para maiwasan mo yung minimum order quantity. So, again, in that respect, I think we can acknowledge also the Regional Operations Group, the Trade and Investment Promotions Group, the SSF, and the Design Center. Kasama mo sila dyan sa mga nag-effort sa SITEM. Ang mga, pati na rin tinulungan nito ang mga, itong maganda, even yung mga SMEs na talagang very bare pa yung produkto nila, yung po may auto product design, auto product development. Yan po si Asset Dempna and the team. Ipapaganda ng produkto rin yan para pag maganda na, ibibenta na sa Auto Philippine Hub at pag mas maganda pa, ibibenta na sa Go Local. So may market access na. No? May grade din sila. Pag maganda, Go Local na. Pag super ganda, meron pa palang mas mataas. For export na sa SITEM, IFEX, FAME, no? So, yun po ang graduation. Pero it has to start from the very simple problems. May strike team din tayo dahil ang mga sila Asset Amina naman. Asset Amina, tayo kayo. Hindi ba si Asset Delta? O, tatawa na sila Asset Amina, Asset Delta. Sila Asset Delta sa KMLE. Nasa place, ayunin po tayo. Acknowledgement po ng ating team. Marami po kayo kasama dyan. Thank you. Sila naman sa strike team, hindi lahat nakakapunta sa negosyo center. So, anong gagawin natin? So the mountain, you go to, ganun ba yun? So tayong pupunta doon sa IT communities. At na ba? 20 plus IT communities na ba? Ang napuntahan natin, ito po yung mga weavers, mga communities na may livelihood, tinulungan din sila sa design. Paano mapaganda ang produkto at bigyan ng market access. They join our trade fairs, some of them land also in the Auto Philippine Hub and the Go Local. So, yan po. Yung kanina may yan, ang packaging upgrade. Nakita nyo, may before, may after, yung katabi. Before and after, before and after. Yung longganisa ni Dean Pax at ni Bekeni, ngayon nandun na sa plakana na, magaganda na. No? Yung kape, nasa plastic, nasa magandang packaging na. And yung mga ibang packaging. Ang laki ng ginaganda. At ito pa maganda, mas mahal nila na bebenta. Di ba? Kasi kahit sino man bumibili, pag napakaganda ng product, you're willing to shell out more for that, for that product. And then moving on to the pondo sa pagbabago at pag-asenso. Programa po ng ating Pangulo. Sabi ng ating Pangulo, ting dumadaan siya sa mga palengke sa Davao, nakikita niya 3 o'clock, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Kasi hindi siya natutulog nung mayor siya. Ganun siya matulog sa bahay hanggang ngayon. Kahapon natapos kami cabinet, almost 2 o'clock. Tapos may meeting pa siya, may interview pa siya. So siguro 3 a.m., 4 a.m. na naman matutulog yun. At nakikita niya, pag nagta-drive siya, yung mga small market vendors, parang walang direksyon ba? So sabi niya, kailangan may pondo sila, pang kapital man lang ng ibibenta nila. So doon lang nagsimula ko yung diskusyon namin. At sabi niya, of course, nasama na yung usapan na ang laki ng binibigay ng 5-6. Nakapalahot, hindi pala binibigay, pinapag-utang na napakatama na yan. Patayin na 5-6, hindi yung nagpapaka. Sabi niya. So, nagpa-5. In the first place, hindi pala Pilipino. But wala akong exception yun, ha? May Pilipino rin nagpa-5-6, pero marami hindi Pilipino. At hindi lang yung isang nationality, meron pang ibang mga nationalities. 30 billion pesos ang nakapalawat sa 5-6. Kaya kahit sa palengke yung magpunta, it's 5-6. Now, we're beginning to sort of do some changes, mga pagbabago, at may mga 38 to 40,000 na tayo na napapahiram under the pondo sa pagbabago at pag-asenso. We are now on our 2nd billion. And thanks to Congressman Udavia and the congressmen and women here, they were the ones who proposed an increase in the budget of the pondo sa pagbabago at pag-asenso. Palakpakan po natin ang ating mga legislators. Sabi po nila, dagdagan ng 5 billion pesos. Yan. Para every year, yun na yung isasama sa budget. Kasi ito talaga yung empowering. Kung sabi nga, ang education, empowering tool sa mga nag-empleyo. Ang pautang, of course, and all other support services, ang empowering tool sa negosyante. So, ma-free sila sa mga usurious 5-6. Lahat sila ngayon nakakaipon na, pagbabalik sa negosyo, more paninda, more tubo, nakakapag-aral na ang mga anak at nakakakain na ng 3 beses sa isang araw or more. So dito po, ang ating pong SB Corp, President Punan, please stand and be recognized. Meron bang mga MFIs or Market Vendor Associations na partner po ng P3? We ask you to stand, please stand, ang mga partner rural banks. These are our credit delivery partners. Hello sir, hello ma'am. Ayan. At meron na tayong 200 accredited partner conduits, credit delivery partners, MFI, cooperatives, Market Vendor Association. Kung meron pa kayong kakilala na may well-run cooperative or association, lalo sa palengke, please apply lang po sa SB Corp. You can be given the funds to relent to your members at to give you enough margins para po kayo ay makapagpautang. And definitely, this is a lot lower. The interest rate ranges only 2 to 2.5 a month. That is a lot lower than the 20% per month. No? At ngayon, nakakaipon na yung mga napapera. That's actually the normal rate for microfinance institutions. Yung po talaga, kahit bago pa kami pumasok. But what we're trying to do now is add more to the system so that we won't distort the financial system, but we will simply reach out to more and more SMEs dahil obviously hindi sila naaabot ng regular financial system because they're going to the 5-6. They have different systems. Now we have a system that's very simple. One form, they just look into your business and maybe they accreditate kahit hindi registered. Kaya po ngayon kung registered na, kailangan ba registered? Kahit hindi, basta registered sila dun sa Market Vendor Association, the following day, meron na silang puhunan. And they are now around 40,000. And I should mention also our partner, Card MRI, who's lending to equivalent number of dollars that usapan nila siya sa mamaya sa finance. Pasensya na po. Excited lang po ang DTI mag-report ng mga nagawa natin sa mga initiatives po natin sa SMEs. The key agenda po dito is to address operational and policy issues. That's why we need to implement an anchor program that will start off with the food sector to meet the domestic and international requirements for licensing and certification. So dito, kapartner naman natin ngayon ng FDA and I promise you, in their behalf, we talk to them. I know it's a problem pag-apply ng CPRs or LTO, but talking to the new Director General of FDA, surprised a very young lady, is instituting a lot of change in systems, at saka adding more people because those are the two problems ng FDA. So, and with thousands of applications, would you believe they only have 13 evaluators? So they realize that yun ang problema, and they're now looking into possible outsourcing, using third-party institutions that can help them in their processing. And it's been really a frustration in the past and current, but hopefully that will change. And she said that they will commit some kind of a green lane, special lane, pag micro SME or micro and small. Huwag na yung medium, malalaki na yan. Yung micro and small, that are really in need for quick registration. Kasi meron dyan, magandang product idea, pag-register sa FDA, 2 years na wala pa. Nawala na ng gana, bumalik na sa pag-empleyo. Hindi na nagnegosyo. So, ganun yung frustration. Or naunahan na yung kanyang produkto. So, kailangan talagang masolve yan. Kaya the FDA, especially with the EODB law, hindi na talaga pwedeng lumagpas sa 20 days for highly technical application. 20 days maximum. Andyan po si Yusef Ruel, ang tagapantay ko sa ease of doing business. Siya po ang aming EODB SAR. Habang wala yung Director General. And new IT system that can manage the growing, ito pa, sa P3 requirements. Dahil if we have the 5 billion, it has to be supported po kung Peter ng system. So even SB Corp is leveling up their IT system so that it can absorb whatever increase we can have next year for a higher budget for P3. No? So mabilis na processing din. Right now, it's approval the day after. Tapos kaagad, may pera na kaagad. Okay. Malapit na po tayo matapos. Last but not the least, of course, is the marketing efforts. And another initiative po natin, na dati wala po ito. Yung Golokan, na dati magbabayad ka pa ng rental sa mall, na 25,000 to 30,000 per month para sa isang kiosk. Or magbabayad ka ng listing fee sa groceries, hindi kila Edwin. Sa iba lang, 3 million pesos bawat product to 10 million pesos na raw ngayon, B.A. Joey. Yung panahon natin, nasa 3 million. Ngayon ay kahapon o the other night sa meat processors, 10 million, some of them are paying listing fees. Kaya kailangan talaga may retail trade liberalization. Listing fee na napakataas. And hindi na sila mabayad, they get access to mainstream market for free. They can get feedback on their products at they can tweak their products. Hindi na sila matakot na ayaw muna pumasok sa mall. Kasi ang laki na ng sunk cost ko, tapos hindi pa na papatok yung produkto ko, lugi na kaagad. Ngayon, malakas loob nila. Innovation, test namin. Until pagpatok na, graduate na sila after more than a month. A new batch will come in. Sila, they can now afford, pag umorder na, volume buy, mga lalo na for export, they can now afford a place in the mall on their own. Market incubation, tapos na sila naman. We now have 56 Go Local, thanks to Robinson. Unang-unang Go Local niya, nag-embrace ng Go Local, followed by SM, Rustans, Shopwise, Enchanted Kingdom, Duty Free, and yung pinakamalaki, City Mall. Yung ating kaibigan, si Injapsia, supported us. 26 to 27 stores. Lahat ng stores nila, kineri ka agad ang Go Local. At yan po, yung Go Local. Ang ganda naman, para kang nasa exhibit. They now have 332 suppliers. If you go to the DTI ground floor, nandun po ang showroom, lahat ng suppliers, 332 registered suppliers carrying many products, yun muna, no? 332 suppliers. Pero maganda dito, 81 na mainstream na, 81 entrepreneurs. So, wala na sila sa Go Local, graduate na sila. And yung na mainstream na products, 1,000 products, mainstream, graduates of Go Local. Example, yung isang nakilala namin, si Cookie Sticks. Dahil nasa Go Local siya at na-discover siya ni Rustans, kineri na siya sa lahat ng Rustans supermarket and stores. Nung nalamang Go Local member siya, no listing fee. Waive ang listing fee. That's just one of the many stories po ng graduates ng Go Local. Another innovation on market access followed also, and by the way, the valued savings so far, kinikwenta namin yung mga natipid. One products times 3 billion. Sige, hindi kaya ng SMEs natin. And that we credit, of course, the TIPG Trade Investment, the USEC, NOIA here, please stand. The retail recognized. The Regional Operations Group, kung saan nagagaling ang mga suppliers. And of course, the retailer. Okay. So, meron po bang mga Rustans at mga Robinsons na nandito ngayon? Mga kapartner na retailers? Okay. Baka nagbebenta sila ngayon sa Go Local. We have also another anchor program. Ito na pala yun. The one product hub and the one e-store, e-commerce store. In partnership with DOST. So, yan po. Na-share po sa atin yan. At may partnership din with the Google Business. Carrying our products online. Okay. Other priorities here include encouraging promoting the use of e-commerce via the creation of an e-commerce council, strengthening the Philippine Export Development Plan with a clear resource support to implement key initiatives. So despite what I've presented today, we believe the MSME Council has a lot of work to do to involve more enablers to support micro SMEs. 5 action planning workshops, yung nabanggit po nating mga committees. A total of 190 participants from government, private sector, academia, etc. to work together to come up with solutions to problems that are still there, as well as policies and programs. No? And there is also the action planning workshop sessions guided by the Micro SME Development Plan, gave rise to the 7 Micro SME Development Council anchor programs. At ang katuwang at kapartner din po natin, lahat ng ahensya at ang Vice Chairman po, si PA Joey Concepcion. So, palakpakan din po natin si PA Joey, ang partner, the Vice Chair of Micro SME Development Council. Joey, please stand para makita. He turned 60, but he looks like 40. And I look a lot older than him. I don't know why. But I know why also. One of the good things that this summit has brought in the successive years that we've been organizing is the wealth of experiences we share with each other. Kayo po, you spend time, you volunteer, you empower other people. That is the essence not only of business, that is the essence of life. Diba? It's not for us, it's for others. You help others. We've gotten to know each other's work, and we found what initiatives we can do to improve. We've also drawn up solutions on what else we can do to achieve our goals. In our sessions today, we will add new elements, finding how we should do things to make things work. As we learn from each other, we also hope that today's gathering will help us validate our recommendations. I hope that you will all stay with us until this afternoon when we hand to the President the 7-point agenda of the Micro SME Development Council. We are positive that this is a priority agenda that will bring into sharper focus the areas of higher importance and greater impact to our micro SMEs and our people. By accelerating the 7 M's framework, we will achieve our goal set by President Duterte in his socio-economic agenda to create inclusive growth and shared prosperity for all Filipinos, and through this we can empower our countrymen to uplift the quality of their lives for a better tomorrow. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you so much. A very informative session from this morning from a good Secretary Mon Lopez. Another round of applause, please. Thank you again, Secretary Mon, for running us down how the 7-point agenda will be addressed by the DTI, and with all the economic factors in place, it's truly a promising, empowering atmosphere for our MSMEs in the country, looking forward towards more smarter, more competitive, and value-added MSMEs in the country. And speaking of smarter and more value-added competitive MSMEs, starting at 10:45, our friends from the Go Negosyo Mentor Me on Wheels will begin with the mentorship, the one-on-one mentorship right outside of the hallway near the registration area. So again, for all those who want to be mentored by the Mentor Me on Wheels right outside, we encourage you to please register at the registration area right outside. Again, please register right now at the registration table. The one-on-one mentorship will be ongoing until 3 p.m. today. So again, I encourage you to please come over, drop by our Mentor Me on Wheels booth, which will be open up to 3 p.m. today. And again, we invite all of you, if you have got some great insights, photos, suggestions, and comments, please upload them online using our hashtag MSME Summit 2018. Our hashtag appears on the screen. That's MSME Summit 2018. And one more announcement by Secretary Mon Lopez over here. Sir, ano may dance number po?
Sorry, I forgot to announce. One of our partners, 50%, happy lang for all the distribute mamaya.
So if there are any more partners sa ating DTI ecosystem who would like to participate, please approach Secretary Mon or any of our undersecretaries if you'd like to offer your services to our MSMEs nationwide. And now, beginning with velocity, we start off with our first M for today, our session 1, Government Mindset Forum. Now, our first session for this morning will focus on the session for today. May I please call on our speaker, Mr. Guillermo Luz, the hour of conversation with our esteemed guests. Again, a round of applause, please, Mr. Bill Luz.
Thank you, RJ. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so let's start with the first M. It's going to be mindset. And as RJ was saying, we're focused here on the government mindset for ease of doing business. But actually, it's also an entrepreneurial mindset that we need. You have to want to get into business, but you also have to be able to give the government feedback on what you go through to register your businesses, to get your licenses, to get your permits. Because you, the entrepreneurs, are the customers, and the government is your service provider. If your service provider is unaware of the problems that you give them, then they will continue to give you the service that you have been getting. If you give them constructive suggestions and recommendations, then you can work together and we can provide better services and create an ease of doing business environment for the Philippines. So today, for the first panel discussion, it's my pleasure to and the ease of doing business work. The Secretary already introduced him earlier as being in charge of ARTA until a Director General is appointed. Who knows, if he gets lucky, he will become the Director General. He's only shaking his head no. Okay, let me introduce from the private sector and now in government, Undersecretary Roel Barba. And also joining us on stage with Roel, he is the President and CEO of RFM Corporation, you know, Presidential Advisor on Entrepreneurship, and also is the founder of Go Negosyo, Mr. Joey Concepcion. Okay, gentlemen, thank you. Well, maybe let's start. Let's start with you, Joey. You got to flip your switch on. Got a microphone here for Joey? Is it working? Okay. No.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, now it's working. Okay. So let's start first, Joey. You know, give us a little something about your view of the mindset that we need, and I think you've got perspective, the vantage point of speaking not only from the entrepreneurial side, but as a presidential advisor, you have direct access to government to be able to explain what entrepreneurs go through and to give advice on the mindset that government should have to make doing business easier in the Philippines. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about your view of the mindset.
Yeah. Before I start, can we ask all the MSMEs who are here in attendance to stand up so we can know how many you are? All our micro, small entrepreneurs from the different areas. I think it's very important to acknowledge all of you because we are here to really help everyone out there. The framework that I have been adopting ever since as an entrepreneur is basically focused similar to DDI 7M's, mentorship, money, and market. It's exactly the 7M's. I referred into mindset. Mindset is a key component of mentorship. Everyone here in this room can never be successful if he doesn't have the right mindset. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you work for the government, whether you work for the private sector, the right mindset has to be adopted. And you can see that in mindset that many of our entrepreneurs, our mentors here, focus on, is that ability to develop that, right mindset. When things are bad, we face a lot of challenges over the years, the right attitude in being a positive-minded person, perseverance, hardworking, those are very important components. And that is, a lot of time is spent in really mentoring our entrepreneurs on mindset. Now, the right mindset that our president has placed on us is something different. He has challenged the way many of us think, in a sense that he has brought fear that has brought discipline. I know in a democratic country, sometimes Filipinos can go way off. Why do I say the right mindset? Because by creating the right environment, and that is the job of what government should do, create that right environment, then when you have that right environment, that will allow, that right macro right, that will allow many entrepreneurs to succeed. So, the basic infrastructure is a key component in really developing access to market for many of entrepreneurs. The Build project and the attitude of our president today to really make sure it happens. In the past, everybody's just been talking about it. And finally, we really see that this government is really putting what needs to be done. Because the Build builds access to market, builds the next frontier, which is the tourism, which will benefit many of these entrepreneurs in this room. It will help, bring tourists that will develop our provinces, airports, roads, bridges, and these are key components. So, government, DTI, Department of Agriculture, working with the private sector, we have to adopt that right mindset in really working as a team. And I'm glad that with the Department of Trade and Industry and go negotiate with leads, the private sector arms, my role with the president, that partnership providing experienced mentors who are entrepreneurs to mentor our MSMEs is a key component. Because it can only be an entrepreneur who can reshare that proper mindset. So in a nutshell, I believe we are headed at the macro level where government is really getting its act together. Secretary Mon Lopez did a very long but very clear, goal-oriented, and I guess it's from his training, private sector. You cannot, that is how the private sector works. And I'm glad that for the first time we will have an ally whereby we really have inclusive growth. It is not the medium and large entrepreneurs that we need to take care of. It's our micro entrepreneurs and small that need the help of government. We don't need the help of government in large corporations because we have access to that advice. So this right environment that which we created, I'm glad that this partnership is continuing to blossom, providing market access, money, mentorship access, and all of that brings about the energy that is needed to make this country really accelerate and grow faster than even 6, 7, 8% GDP.
Thank you, Joey. Yusuf Crowell, there's a lot of expectation now with the Ease of Doing Business Act, the upcoming creation actually of the Anti-Red Tape Authority through Republic 11032. So, can you give us I know the IRR is still being worked on, so maybe can you give us a sneak preview what to expect in the business community? What kind of go and start contracting on
1032 last May 28, 2018. Well, we expect a lot from government. Now is the time to transform the government in terms of services. And for the first time, compared to the previous law, which only speaks of anti-red tape, this law now speaks of ease of doing business. So it gives emphasis on ease of doing business. So hopefully within a year's time, we will have a working anti-red tape authority and with functioning automation, hopefully by the time. As Secretary mentioned earlier, we are now conducting the design sprints, and by October, hopefully we'll be able to have a prototype mobile application for business online application. And within a year from now, we also hope that more government employees will have a change of mindset, that instead of looking into the law as a mere punitive or with, as mentioned by Secwan, there's a two-strike rule. Emphasis or emphasizing the need to provide more efficient government service to our micro-entrepreneurs. That pronunciation from
Mr. Crowell, I think one of the challenges, I mean, you mentioned transformation. In a way, it's a re-engineering of the process. But I think one of the challenges is how do we develop that customer orientation in the agencies, in the frontline agencies? How can we help in the private sector develop that customer orientation so that when Joey and the entrepreneurs come to offices, they feel that they've been treated as customers efficiently and effectively?
Well, under the law, it also provides for some rewards. So it's not only the two-strike rule, but it also provides for a report survey where we will get the feedback from stakeholders. So hopefully our citizens, especially our MSMEs, can provide us feedback which will be necessary for at least to give them hope and some at least the intention or at least to do more for sa ating mga kababayan na pagbutihin ko yung servisyo.
Then we do, and I see it happening in many places, is a sort of an instant feedback system, where after you receive the service, you're able to type on a tablet or some feedback on the service. And I think for the private sector, you know, what happens is if you have a customer complaint center, most people will call in for the complaints, but not tell you about the good service. So you've got to get somehow an instant feedback system so that in fairness to the person giving the service, he gets his feedback right away whether he's getting, you know, delivering good or bad service.
I thought giving feedback through social media.
Okay. Yeah.
Good and bad.
Good and bad. Yeah, that's what we need, I think, good and bad. Joey, if we were to put the shoe on the other foot or turn the tables, let's say, and you got the chance to put in the changes you want to make in frontline services for government to make it easy for MSMEs to get registered, to get started, to operate their businesses, to thrive and grow. What would be the services be changed or improved? Which ones are currently giving you the most headaches?
Well, I guess one point it out. I mean, the key element really here is in the private sector, we are fully computerized. If we don't provide the right customer service, we're not going to be in the game. Every entrepreneur here who will not, you know, provide the right quality, right service is not going to make it. In government, that mindset is a challenge. We have to, and I'm almost certain that many of our DTI regional directors, after going through 2 years of all of this mentor me, will also absorb the right mindset of an entrepreneur. And I'm confident, you know, it is really an attitude. You know, in other words, service is service. You love your job, you love the brand of the Department of Trade and Industry. That is what you're selling, that service. And your customers are the Filipino people. Unfortunately, they cannot go anywhere else. You could wear an ice cream, they can go to Magnolia. But in this case, DTI is the only brand. So, there is no challenge. But I'm certain that as also government is trying to computerize, the problem is we have to digitalize. And unless we digitalize, we will never be able to deliver efficient service. You know that, yeah? That is key.
I 100% agree.
And we have to move forward, and we're in the age of the whole digitalization process. In fact, our program right now is to focus on sari-sari stores and digitalize all of them, answers their problems. My company is providing market financial access. We use fintech to be able to lend them to the phone. So what I'm trying to say here is that the right mindset applies even with government employees. They have to think like entrepreneurs. Eventually, you are the big mentors to our MSMEs in this group. So, while government is a law that takes, in fact, the penalty is really very extreme. Unless that whole process is streamlined, everybody's going to go to jail. So I think it is correct that the whole process is being reviewed. And I'm glad that one has thought of, hey, just one sheet of paper. So that process is to be reviewed, and that should be the standard. Or else somebody might end up in the wrong place. So it's a great law, but there's a lot of work that has to go through that. And when I look at ease of doing business, so where do you begin and where do you end? So it's not as simple as just the law. It's really detailing that. It's like putting an enterprise system in my company, which is SAP. The amount of work that it takes to be able to implement that is long, years. So I hope they are not going to put people in jail until this whole process really is very clear.
Thanks. Yeah, digitization I think is an important aspect. How many, I just want to see by show of hands, all of you have a phone. Can you raise your phone? If you have a phone, raise it. That's all the phone population in this room? That's quite low. That's
We're just hiding it.
Everyone's hiding a phone, huh? Okay. No, I mean, I think normally 95% of the group is holding, if not 100% of the group is holding at least one phone. Quite a number will be holding possibly two phones. So I really think that the way to go in terms of at least the simplest of transactions in government, digital would be to have it placed on a phone. I think that would simplify things a lot. I think it would cut traffic for one. I think it would cut a lot of transaction time and cost for entrepreneurs. I think what the government needs to do is decide that they allow agencies to procure the service differently from the traditional methods of procurement. Maybe if you're allowed to, if government can subscribe to the services rather than own the software, or to pay on a pay-per-use basis. No? I think that might be a faster way to adopt technology into government services. And I think Joey's on the right track there, saying that let's focus on the streamlining, because if we expect people to just follow the letter of the law and regulations, they might be hard-pressed, to hit the 3 days and 7 days on the current process. Would they be disadvantaged following the certain process? If you were in the SEC, for instance, can you meet 20 days?
Well, under the law, all agencies are required to engineer all their processes and to conduct a regulatory impact assessment on new regulations that should be adopted, including cost analysis. So hopefully we'll be able to streamline these processes, especially in starting a business in the soonest possible time. And because now is the time to transform. And I think this administration has the political will to implement this move.
Okay, thank you. I was wondering, I was going to ask the guys, are there microphones out on the floor? Because I wanted to be able to take questions from the floor. Anybody want to ask a question? Raise your hand. This gentleman here is going to run around and bring you a microphone. Yeah, if I could ask you to introduce yourself, where you're from, your organization, and who you are addressing the question to. You, Secretary or PA Joey?
I am Willie Gunn from Surigao Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I have many questions that I will leave it to some.
Thank you.
Sir, overlooking the obstacles in the past transaction requirements. Already submit many documents for example, passport. When the renewal comes, they again ask for the same documents, when in fact there is already record in their database. In the application for mayor's permit, we already submit DTI, NSO, birth certificate, and whatnot. When another transaction, pag kita yung business permit, ibig sabihin, meron ng NSO and other NBI clearances, hindi na dapat kailangan hihingan pa. mag-apply tayo, may checklist doon. Anong kailangan submit database, next time dapat hindi na hingi. Tapos yung NSO natin, birth certificate, bakit may expiration date? It's already digital. We are in the internet. Bakit 2 years yata expiry? Kailangan hingi na naman ng original. Ang haba ng pila. Another is the frequent absences of government signatories. In the agencies. Sa office, di ba, mayroong chief of staff yung government agency head. Siya nag-check kung kumpleto na yung mga requirements. Ang head of office, signature is only ministerial. So dapat kung na-approve na ng staff na lahat ng requirements, kung absent yung chief of office, pwede assistant or even the chief of staff mismo na. Kasi siya yung responsible sa lahat. Kung may mga mali-mali yung kahit na pinirmahan ng department head or chief of office, kung may kulang, yung chief of staff naman ang managot kasi siya nag-verify. Then, yung field jets is a big problem. I think it should be overhauled. Kasi sa amin, sa probinsya, ipifield jet daw. Tapos yung nanalo, we are from Calaga region. Manalo, Northern Luzon. So from far away places, then yung description sa equipment is generic. So pag na-comply yung generic, pinapadala. Kaso, hindi applicable doon sa project. So billions of pesos are wasted because of incompatible equipment. I think field jet should be localized so we can make the supplier responsible for what they deliver. Tapos kung may problema yung beneficiary, madali niya ma-inquire kung tama ba yung design specification for their project. Tapos kung may mga maintenance, accessible.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for all the questions. I think you, Secretary, that's all headed your way. So there's field reps, multiple signatories. Why do we have to give so many prerequisite documents before we start? All these questions. So,
maraming salamat po. I'll give chance to other people. I'll just write the other mga 20 questions to please ask your questions.
So una po thank you very much. Actually, we would love to have your 20 pages of notes. Okay, thank you.
So una po ninyong katanungan sa LTO, kaya po yung gobyerno natin, pamalaan ng isang business data bank na nandiyan po lahat yung mga dokumento ninyo. Na hopefully, ma-access po yan ng mga ibang government agencies. Kaya hindi po kailangan of requirements. So yan po yan ang business data bank. Atasan po under the law yung DICT na gumawa po yan. Yung pangalawang katanungan ninyo sa signatories na nakalagay na rin sa batas na maximum 3 signatures ang kailangan. Dati po, sa luma po batas 5. So ngayon 3 na lang. At nakalagay din po doon na kung absent yung pipirma na dapat may kapalit. Yan po yung nakasaad sa batas. At yung last po naman ninyo na katanungan, procurement po yan. So yung papaabot po siguro natin sa GPPP. Sila po yung nag-aanong filters. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate your notes later on. Any other questions from the floor? I see 2 questions here. Do you have a microphone? One question. Please go ahead.
Aida Enriquez po from Kaintrap and Pusat. Ang tanong ko lang po, yung pong mga business permit natin sa mga syudad ay napakataas. Kung mga MSME nga ang
mas maganda, mamaya po magpasa po tayo ng resolution urging all local government units, di ba, nabigyan ng special rate ang MSMEs. Mas maganda po siguro yan, tapos parating po natin sa PILG at bigyan mo natin ang lahat ng mga LGUs ng corporate. Mayors, governors.
Okay, thank you. We have any questions? I saw some. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I am Danilo Solsan, the provincial chair of the country's provincial micro small medium development council. This is my feedback or information and question. So this is more on the ease of doing business. So if the entrepreneur will have a mindset, executive mindset, we should have also on the government side those who are exercising regulatory function in both the national government and the local government. Like for example, if you getting a building clearance or zoning clearance or the fire clearance. So what they are doing and the frontliner most regulatory. They are no balance of the mindset of regulatory and developmental organization. Just like PI also has a regulatory function, but like the government, people will give you it's very easy, but occupancy permit, they will give you requirement A. Even though you have an architect, you have an engineer, but they give you A, and then you apply, they give you B, and then you apply up to C. So you have to cut across. If you ask them package, how much? It's very easy, but have those things, we have to deal with them. And also the fire department, you have to buy from them. They will not give you clearance even if you want to comply. If you don't buy equipment from them, wala talaga. So, how could we at the Provincial Council go about it under Public Act 11-032? Do we have an influence or are we mandated to sit down with the local government executive or so that is my question.
All right, thank you. You said you want to take a shot?
Well, hopefully that will be a thing of the past. Under po dito sa batas na ito, nare-require na po lahat ng mga LGUs to set up one-stop shop. Na lahat po dyan, building permit, fire permit, fire clearance, fire certificate, isang application lang po yan. At ito po ginagawa na po sa Quezon City, meron ng one-stop shop. At sabay na rin po nag-i-inspect ang lahat ng assessor's office, building official, at saka po yung fire. Sabay na po sila nag-inspect ngayon. No? At doon po naman sa sinasabi ninyo na nagbebenta po na po yan sa mga batas ngayon. Pinagbawalan po sila express niya na magbenta ng kahit na anong fire extinguisher at liable po sila sa batas kung magbenta po sila ng fire extinguisher.
Okay, thank you. I know we're running out of time, but this lady has been wanting to ask a question, so I'll take one last question. Yes, please. Where's the microphone? One last question. Or two last questions. One each, very quickly.
Good morning. I'm Shoni Makenyo, the food and drugs. And our food producers, and there are complaints regarding the system, sir.
Okay, thank you. The second question, and then we'll go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm Lolipatas from Perfect Place. Students of fire, because every year when they visit our office, they charge us 1,200 pesos for the fire extinguishers. So kailan po na take effect nito?
Okay, thank you.
So, on the issue of FDA, with Jenny Maglayan a couple of weeks or a month ago, and the secretary and Mona talked to the head of FDA. I've shared with the secretary that medium-sized and large companies like ours are empowered to really push our permits and all of the facility to get it moving. And he understood it. And Mon shared it, Secretary Mon shared their challenges. And I think we will not, I have committed this on shelf. But it doesn't mean that without an FDA approval that you cannot sell. You can sell it. You can, while in the process, you can start incubating it. Sell it in Mercato or RJ. And there are many formats where you can, and before the restrictions are really when you get to the bigger boys like SM, without FDA, larger chains. But it doesn't mean that's the end. No? So, but nevertheless, I believe that FDA has to step up, increase the manpower or outsource. And the Secretary is committed.
Alam mo, yung batas became effective last June 17, 2018. So kami pupunta sa inyong taga-Bureau of Fire at yun yung 1,200. Pakita niyo lang yung batas at tawagan niyo kami.
Okay, one last question I see here. Do we have a microphone down to this table here, waving frantically at us? Microphone? Where do I have our microphone? Okay, this will be the absolute last question. No, we're running out of time, so we'll quickly have to take the last question here.
Sir, good afternoon. Good morning po. Christine po from Balay Cabrera Farm and KMME Bulacan. Sir, regarding po dun sa digitalization, ano po yung siguro po dapat natin munang unahin is the internet. May ano po ba tayo? May balita po ba tayo for another entry ng isa pang provider or meron po tayong move na ginagawa para po ma-upgrade po yung service po ng existing providers po natin. Kasi po important po yung sa mga MSMEs. Plus po yung kung nagsabay-sabay naman po yung pag-apply.
Between the two players today, Smart and Globe, and Smart is here. We all know, and Smart to something left behind by Globe because they were far more advanced in really adopting a bet on data or digitalization. So, MVP and PLDT Group has committed how many billion? 58 billion. And these are the ones that are going to, these companies are going to compete. We are, because in Western provincial people are hungry for data. Everybody's switching. We're all using Viber, WhatsApp, and all these formats. So that's actually taking space. No? And people now, you can watch your Netflix and all of that. So, but the whole process is that I believe the only way we can enable our micro and small entrepreneurs to level up is to teach them how to digitalize their business. This is where the mentorship have to focus. Many in this room don't even use PayMaya and GCash. In the States, I am now an Apple Pay user, and ever since I use it, everywhere I go, I just point my phone, and it's fantastic. existing. That is the vision of PayMaya and GCash here. China.
On the telco issue, I don't know about the third player, but there's something all of you can do to help with the telco situation. I don't know if you know that in order to get a construction permit for one telco site in any LGU, takes roughly 26 to 28 permits and takes 8 months. It takes longer to get the construction permit than to build the cell site. So if you want more cell sites and better services, you have to convince your LGU and the national government to cut the process and streamline it so we can get it done much faster. So anyway, I'm afraid we've run out of time. I just want to, first of all, thank all of you from the floor who asked the question, because I think it's important for the government to listen to their customers and to listen to very specific stories and complaints, because that's the only way I think the agencies will be able to learn. And I know Yusek Barba has been carefully listening so he can respond. So thank you very much for the questions. And also let me thank Yusek Roel. He's got a big job ahead of him in the ARTA and the implementing rules and regulations. And of course to Joey Concepcion for Go Negosyo for helping entrepreneurship in this country through the Mentor Me program and so many other programs of Go Negosyo. So give me a warm round of applause for Yusek Roel and Joey Concepcion. And let me turn over back to RJ.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Virus. Kumaris, sana po can you please invite here at the front of the stage, Mr. Joey Concepcion, Yusek Barba, Mr. Luz, together with the Secretary Mon Lopez for a photo opportunity. Again, maraming salamat ulit to our Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship and Vice Chair of the MSME Development Council, Joey Concepcion, our Undersecretary for the Competitiveness and Ease of Doing Business Group of the DTI, Mr. Barba, and of course, Mr. Guillermo Luz, former co-chairman of the National Competitive Council, for our discussion and kicking off our first seminar here for today. Mga kaibigan, inuulit ko lang po na may po ongoing yung ating Mentor Me on Wheels, Go Negosyo, Mentor Me on Wheels, one-on-one mentorship sa labas lang po. If you would like to be mentored by some of the top mentors ng Go Negosyo, please go outside to register. Hanggang 3 p.m. lang po yung ating Go Negosyo Mentor Me on Wheels. So sa lahat mga MSME na hindi pa nagpapamentor, we invite all of you to please come outside to join us for our Go Negosyo Mentor Me on Wheels program. Moving on to our next topic, it will be very interesting. We've got some of the country's top entrepreneurs coming here on stage. Our next session, we will give true-to-life, real-life stories of mga successful entrepreneurs who have built their businesses from scratch and the remarkable lessons they pass on to other aspiring entrepreneurs. Ito rin po, one very successful entrepreneur joining us here on stage to be our moderator. Please welcome my kaibigan, si Mr. Paulo Tibig.
Morning everyone! Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Okay pa po ba kayo? Gutom na? We were given 30 minuto, so pabilisan po ito at napakaganda ng topic natin for this session. Alright? Okay. Sige. So, ang una natin tatawagin sa panelist, ito po, best friend ko to na matagal na panahon na at isang serial entrepreneur na kung kayo po ba ay kumakain ng french fries na nagsisimula sa PC. Alam niyo po ba yung PC? Potato Corner. He's one of the founder of Potato Corner at siya po isang serial entrepreneur na ngayon po kilalang kilala sa kanyang bagong konsepto na Tokyo Tempura. So siya po yung tempura na ginawang pangmasa at talaga na po hit na hit. So he's also the current director, founding member ng Association of Filipino Franchiser. Dati pong faculty program director sa Ateneo CCE. Mentor Me, programa ng Mentor Me natin sa PCE. Regional director, regional coordinator for Region 3. Nasaan naman ang Region 3? Everyone, nasaan naman ang Region 3? Ayan, ang dami nila ha. Ayan, so Agora awardee for 2018, 2017. Let's all welcome Mr. George Willie, everyone. Okay, ang next natin, hindi ko lang alam kung ito kailangan pa ng introduction. Kailangan pa ba ito? At ito ay isa sa pinakasikat na celebrity chef dito sa Pilipinas. At siya po, napakaganda ng storya, nagsimula na isang assistant executive chef sa bansang Oman at buwi ng Pilipinas, the usual story na isang nagsusumikap na entrepreneur. Ngayon, meron siyang, syempre, TV show, Kusina sa Idol, meron siyang culinary school sa Cavite at Davao, at isang celebrity host ng GMA News TV. Walang iba. Ping, 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 ping! Chef Boy Logro. Another one. Palagay ko ito hindi ko na dapat sa inyong i-introduce pa. At siya parang tatay namin sa PCE, Philippine Center for Entrepreneurship. Siya rin po ay isang professor, dean. Walang iba kung hindi si Dean Pax Lapid. And lastly, siyempre, kailangan kompleto tayo. Ang next na introduce natin, we have the honor para samahan tayo dito. Alam niyo, binabasa ko yung kanyang profile. Siya po pala isang nagmamarari ng isa sa paborito kong lechong manok. Ito yung kahit walang sauce, pwede. Ito yung medyo maalat-alat at masarap siya. Mula doon sa balat at talaga naman siya po talagang nandun sa immersion sa entrepreneurship, sa house community natin, sa small business entrepreneurship. Ito yung siguro dapat ang workout at I think kanina sa pag-uusap din namin, maraming pwede pang idagdag. So since maiksi ito, sana makinig kayo mabuti kasi hindi lamang po sa ating makinig. So okay po ba kayo? Lunch pag hindi nangyari yan. Working lunch. Anyway, bibigyan natin ng ilang minuto ang bawat isa. Gusto natin makuha ang insight nila kasi napakaganda po yung tao ng mindset, mastery, at mentoring. George, pwede ko magsalita. Anong palagay mo? Anong insight mo on this? Or a brief backgrounder para at least kaalaman ng ating mga tagapakinig.
Okay, good morning everybody. Ako po si George Willie. 30 years na po akong entrepreneur. Isa sa mga napansin ko po, ang isang great vital tool na ginamit ko to be an entrepreneur is having the entrepreneurial mindset. Okay. Ito po ang nagprotekta sa akin sa mga sets, mga trials and setbacks. In fact, even the personal traps, diba, Dr. Lee? The personal traps na na-encounter ko. Ito yung example ng mga personal traps na na-encounter ko is, I don't know how. Diba? And with the environment now na tulungan dito, okay, madaling matutong magnegosyo. Okay? Sharing of success of other entrepreneurs is also a big factor to me. Okay? Kaya nga medyo maswerte sila ngayon dahil ang maraming guidance. When we started in 1991, kami pong apat na magpa-partner sa Potato Corner, wala pong mga go-negosyo, walang TTI seminars, walang skolahan na mag-offer na entrepreneur.
I'm sure nakaka-relate yung karamihan sa atin, lalo rin mga successful na entrepreneurs sa atin dito, na talaga nung araw wala kang mga guidance na makukuha. Yes. Kaya napakaganda ngayon. So, Potato Corner,
and you know, going back to the humble beginning namin, I think what really pushed us to be a good entrepreneur or a successful entrepreneur, yung magipit kami. We were put on a situation na kahit wala kaming choice but to prove ourselves and to improve ourselves. I do believe that everybody have this inner power. May inner power tayo lahat. If you're going to look at the human nature, ang isang taong nagigipit, lumalaban yan on a positive way.
At kumakapit sa katalino.
Pero on the positive side. Ika nga, sabi ni Dean Paxlapid also, Dr. Dean Paxlapid, get out of your comfort zone. That's why right entrepreneurial mindset is very important to your entrepreneurial journey.
Alright, so Dean, pwede ba tayong magbigay ng disclaimer lang po, unahan na natin si Dean. Dean, 2 minuto lang po ang binigay sa atin. At wag yung pang-aim na lecture na gawin natin.
I-crack as Maya kaabak, ikaw po. So, let's go from Wago Pampanga. Background, of course, the family is the Lapid's freshly pumped chicharon, and of course, believe Quiapo, San Tulay. So I've always said mentoring and mastery. So, head, heart, and hands. So, head, heart, and hands. Mentoring is a relationship. Mentoring is a relationship you establish rapport. Yun po yung kailangan mindset, di ba? Andun pati yung pag-aaral, and then andun din yung mentoring. May magtuturo yun, kadala yan. Mahirap maging chef sa kusina kung walang magtuturo. Hindi porque alam mo ang
chef executive.
Chef executive. From chief executive to executive. Your mindset plus your mentoring or tinatawag mo sino yung negosyante at sino yung kumpanyang katulad na gusto mong pasukan leads to mastery. So mindset, mentoring, and of course the modeling leads to mentoring. Si Chef na.
Si Chef na. Introduce. Chef. O ako na ba? Ikaw na. Gutom na kayong lahat? Gutom na, nakita niyo ko. Kaya yum lahat at ping-ping. So, to start with my life story, Tagalogin ko na, Bisayahin ko kaya, kasi para maintindihan. Pwede. Tagalog, kunti lang Tagalog ko eh. At lalo sa English, wala. Kunti lang. Sige. Okay. So anyway, nagsimula talaga ako bilang houseboy. From humble beginning, bilang houseboy. Parang panaginip, gusto bilang a dream, na paano naging chef. Hindi ko alam kung bakit naging chef ako. Kasi hindi naman ako nag-aaral ng culinary. Hindi rin ako nag-aaral ng HRM. Kung baga sa huwi-huwi lang. So sa awa ng Diyos, natagumpayan ko yan, sa Quiapo, hanggang Chinese kamo ko, hanggang gumagawa ko ng siupaw sa 1 kilo na pinubuhan ko na walang damit. Kaya masarap yung siupaw. No?
So hindi ito yung pusa?
Yung una yan. Yung unang teknolohiya. Yung pusa? Yun din naman.
Ngayon na.
Dumadaan na. Yun po, ginagawa mo yung siupaw na walang damit dahil po nung araw, wala pang hygiene. Sumapalad yung mga kabataan ngayon, I would say, kasi nga yung kabataan ngayon, may internet na, may website, may Google, etc. At hindi rin po pwede yung aking experience ay gagawin ko rin. Ngayon, i-insist ko, insert ko ang gano'n, hindi pwede. Dapat silahan, nagsimula ko 4 lamang ng students ko. Hanggang dumami, hanggang naging artist nila, hanggang sinibit chef, hanggang sa ngayon, hundreds of students na. Then, finally, nasa Dubai, sinumapunta ng Dubai, may restaurant po ako doon, every 3 months, nandun po ako, medyo bumukuha na naman po natin.
So, pasyalan natin doon.
Yes. Okay. Sweet Emilia ng Panginoon, na binigyan tayo pa nag-aaral, ito, gawin natin, Dubai na kayo, kasi may restaurant tayo. So, ano pa kaganda niyo? Global na. Global na.
So, Congressman, napalitaan namin nakakagaling ko rin ng Thailand for study visit. At pwede ko ba mag-share kayo ng mga insight na nakuha rin natin dito?
Salamat po. May co-panelists sa tanang nga nag-attend sa SME Summit 2018. Mayroon ito. Akong dua akong nagway ka mo. Si Chef Boy, Bisaya, ako ng Bisaya lang, bahala na Kasi ako.
So intindihin nyo na lang ho kung anong mga translator sa mga katabi ninyo po, ha?
Bahala mo. Basta, I have your faces, no? Isa, as an entrepreneur, and isa, as a legislator. Now, as an entrepreneur, as mentioned by Mr. Paul, and proprietor of Ambitson Manok ni Senior Pedro. I am Senior Pedro. One tasted for everyone.
Ayan. Ayan, ha?
And as a legislator and chairman of small business and entrepreneurs Congress. Was born really ipagkinambog, no? But hindi sa pagmamayaw. But I'd like to take this sa mga attendees ngayon na sana huwag niyo tungkulin as panghinambog, but to motivate and inspire. Sa una, wala kayo poultry. No? As mentioned by Mr. George, na fighter. No? Kung na yung mga challenges atong i-fight. Wala kayo poultry, wala ko surprises sa kanakong kumpanya. I have direction manok na. Pero kapalit ko sa isa kanakong kumpanya, wako tayo manok, nagputang ng poultry from 3,200 now. Mayroon akong 11 backyard growers. 11 backyard growers. Karon I have almost 800 backyard growers with a population of 800,000.
Okay.
So kung di ka na sa 3,000 population to 800,000 growers. Muna ang opportunities ng kung support from the government, pwede na po as a legislator, I'd like to pasalamat sa akong mga kaupan kung Josie Flecho, kung Ten Montoro, kung Roel Gonzaga, mga active members of the committee. And namin need to always support the entrepreneurs, mga startups or magsugod na.
Okay. Yan, ha? So nakita nyo, very successful to ano ba masasabi natin dito? Siguro,
so, doktor, etc. During that time, there was no stories about entrepreneurship. Walang success stories. Nobody, thanks to Joey Concepcion, nagkaroon ng entrepreneur revolution sa Pilipinas. So, young kids now are given a chance, they were given a chance to listen to all the success stories of all the tycoons. So, nai-inspire sila. Maging successful entrepreneur or pwede palang gawing career ang entrepreneur.
Gusto natin na we impress upon them. Hindi ba yun? Hindi natin sila i-impress, pero para makita nila na ito nangyari at nangyari sa maraming story Pilipino na totoong storya. So yun yung isa natin gusto shift, di ba? Kaya nga dito sa Norte, going north up Ilocos, alam nyo, nothing wrong na makita natin yung mga bahay. Familiar po ba kayo din sa mga lapid na nakasabit sa mga bahay with due respect? Hindi ko kasi alam ang tawag doon, pero ito po yung mga, Juan de la Cruz, registered vulcanizer. Yan, di ba? Tapos lahat po ng AFP, MBA, ME, tama din, di ba? At sa dulo ng RI, yun na nakalagay. So, ito yung sinasabi natin proud moment ng mga magulang. Pero, walang masama. Doon natin mas maging asenso yung buhay natin, yung pamilya natin. I think, di ba? All of us will agree na dapat nasa negosyo. Okay. Can we, Congressman, tabihin ko lang, di ba? Napakaganda po ng story, ano po yung the usual challenges na naranasan nyo ng time na binubuo nyo yung inyong konsepto? O sa business na in particular?
Yeah, challenges that time, no? Like, as I have said, wala ko tawag manok sa kumpanya dahil nagputang ko poultry. I am a tawag, no? Taurus, musukol ko. Wala ko tawag yung bahok. That is my biggest trauma sa akong paglagos, no? Nanang manok, wala ko tawag feeds sa isa ka na kong kumpanya. Yun na nga kalisod ang mag-start ng negosyo. Yun na nga kalisod. Wala yung support sa government before. So, what yung biggest trauma? Imagine na akong naman. Kung sa may kong naman. Nag-discuss me na maghatag ko collateral for in 15 days. But after 3 days, pinutol na ang supply. So that's my trauma. So that's why God is with me always. No? That time, kasama ko ang isang tonic sir ng Bounty Fresh. Sabi niya, ano bang problema mo? Kasi we were playing golf dito. Anong problema mo? In that one hole, 4 na bola nawala ko. Ako, bukay na. Hindi na ko bigyan ng fees ng isang kumpanya. Paano? No, wala. Hanap tayo ng pagkain sa manok. Sabi niya, mayroon akong feedmate, maliit, na pwede mong ipasta. O, operational ba yun? Nung iniwan ko, dahil na-expand ko, sabi na operational ko. It's a blessing, really. Bakit na tayo, kasama ko yung isang tao na sa Rotary. So, pinatayo ko yung pinandal in 2 weeks. So, mga challenges, kung i-take ninyo as karabang problema, then patay na. But, kung kunin ninyo as an opportunity, then what, yan ang nakagawa kung sino-sino.
Okay. Dean, total sa academic ka at huwag mo naman gawin pagka-professor mo sa amin, ha? Huwag mo kayo babagsak. So, tingin mo, how do we bridge yung gap? Kasi yung education, di ba, alam naman natin, marami sa MSME, kailangan talaga ikapahin. Marami yan in other parang government agency. Tingin mo, paano mag-bridge yung gap na yun para mas malawak, mas maraming kaalaman, at mas marami tayong successful na makita?
So, thank you pa sa question. So, bridging the gap really is para bang pre-reach mo, diba? Para bang journey. Ang pag-journey, hindi po destination, hindi po 100-meter dash yun, is a marathon. So, sa spelling po ng business, B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S. Tatlo po ang S. Kanina, tatlong H. Ngayon, tatlong S tayo. Para ma-bridge natin ang gap, kailangan intindihin nyo muna that ang unang S mo is seeking. Hahanapin mo. It is intentional. Seeking. Sasadyain mo. Seeking. Seeking the opportunity. What is out there? Di ba? Especially now with the digital marketplace, kailangan hahanapin mo yun. So, seeking yun. Pag nakita mo na, kailangan yung pangalawang S mo, sizing. Titimbangin mo. Sizing. Tama ba para sa iyo yan? Or kaya mo tanggal. Marami po tayong MSME or micro. Pag na-S hindi na kaya yan. Kasi from the start, hindi niya na-size yung kanyang operations at yung kanyang kapital. Diba? So, after the seeking, the sizing, comes the seizing. Yung kakayanin mo at kukunin mo na. So, I like, ad-lib lang ito, balik tayo doon sa mindset mastery and mentoring. Dadalhin ko ngayon doon sa topic natin na transforming MSME. Dadalhin ko ulit kayo doon sa journey. To transform ang SME, ang una mong T is thinking. Iisipin mo. Alin, ang pangalawa, you turn your passion into profit. You turn an idea into a business. And of course, the last...
Talagang ready po kayo sa acronym. Okay. Chef, ito makakatulong sa ito dahil kanina may kinukwento ka na meron ka rin isang negosyo na hanggang ngayon talagang hindi nagpa-fly. So, ano ba yung mga additional support na yung ating mga MSME enablers? Represented tayo kanina, narinig natin yung mga tanong kanina. Ano pa tingin mo yung mga dapat gawin o yung suporta para sa mga katulad natin?
Napaganda na talaga ng programa ng TAO. Almost 7 months. Malaking mileage na yung kita ng tubig ko. So siguro, ang akin lang, sana mapabilis ang proseso na hindi yung parang napakahirap natin pumasok para magawa
na yung gusto mapabilis yung ease of doing business. And I hope unti-unti, I'm sure, mangyari na yan. Okay. Congressman, merong app, di ba, yung Youth Entrepreneurship App. Tingin mo, how early dapat ito maging mga kabataan? Empower, mag-build, instill na agad yung entrepreneurship mindset sa kanila. Kailan po dapat ito? At yung age ba ng elementary, high school ba yan? Paano kaya, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Paul. In all my forums with the youth, as mentioned sa mga companies ko, na I don't encourage them to mag-employ. Hindi. Dapat niluto business. And I'm vice for agriculture. Now, Boss Paul, mayroon tayong request to the President na itong Petri Fund as mentioned by Secretary Mon. So, without access, now kung mayroon na tayong talagang maganda. So may request tayo na isa.
Access sa mentoring, kasi ito na yung kailangan natin makita at this point. Models of business, nabanggit kanina, yung productivity toolbox para sa TESDA at yung social community involved. MSME Academy na I think sinisimulan at soon magandang pag-roll out yung ASEAN online programa rin natin. Ano pa yung playbook? Ito napakahalaga ng playbook. Pag-i-standard nung programa ng instilling ng relationship values para magsimula yung tinatawag nating entrepreneur revolution. Now, with this panelist, ano yung moving forward on this, ano tingin nyo ang pwede natin gawin given itong mga gusto natin na develop na for the next several years?
Actually, within that 12 years ago, we created some awareness. In fact, each NGOs are already promoting this. Even the private companies are focusing on the small medium enterprise program, yung education, mindset, etc. I, for myself, 5 years ago, together with you, my brothers in Go Negosyo, we created Negosyo. It's a 6 months program, tayo rin yun. Tapos at the same time, we are part also Mentor Me, KMM Mentor Me. Sa association naman namin sa AFI, we also adopted this. We're also focused in helping and promoting entrepreneurship dito sa Pilipinas.
Alright. So, Dean?
So, yung unang actual agenda kasi is the entrepreneurship ni Secmon, nating Mondo, kasi Secmon noon, na naumpisahan po namin yung Negosyo Academy sa RFM Auditorium pa yun. So para bang nakita na namin nung pa, together with the core entrepreneur, na hindi namin pinag-uusapan ng Secmon, of course, with PPP, Yusek Noya and Yusek Seni, na dapat sana gawin natin mas malawak at comprehensive yung programa na meron kang leveling. So yung first level, nag-iisip pa rin siya, tentative pa. Yung pangatawang turning business na. Pero pwede may dalawa, thinking and turning business in the acronym starts, STARTS. Una mo self, sarili mo muna. Pangalawa mo dapat is anong talento mo, saan ka magaling. Pangatlo, actions out. Ano yung environment out there? Pang-apat mo, resources. Ano yung available? Panlima mo, treasure. Kailangan may kapirahan. Kaya sa 7M, ano po yung money. And of course, doon lang po yung panghuli natin, set up. Paano naman po yung mga entrance education sa paglaki? Yun naman po yung growth business. Papalakihin mo ang negosyo. Yung acronym natin, GROWTH. G, malinaw dapat yung iyong goal. Ano ba yung objective mo sa paglaki? Pangatlo, results of previous year. Pag hindi mo alam yung resulta mo ng mga nakaraang taon, paano ka lalaki? May problema ka pala. Kaya if results of previous year is red or ridiculous, lugi or inot-inot, return to start back subject. Remedial ka dapat muna. Balik ka sa basic. Kasi hindi ka lalaki kung hindi mo naintindihan yung prinsipyo. Of course, yung OMO is the opportunities na nakikita mo. Of course, the W is the work plan. Then of course, the transitioning and the transforming, which is itong ating topic ngayon. And of course, the HO is the harvest. So, NREP education with the MSME Academy na inumpisahan po namin sa Negosyo Academy in RFM is negosyo starts at saka negosyo.
Okay. So, ang daming acronym. Oh, Chef Boy, sige. Parang parting words na rin to, parang how do we progress, di ba?
Yung katulad sa business ko is sa culinary, di ba? So, ngayon sa ngayon, maraming gusto matutong magluto, right? Kaya sabi nga sa San Pedro kanina, yung kanyang mga tao ay pag-aaralin sa school ko, which is, yan yung ginagawa ko, parang 6 months diploma, na hindi na yung matagal masyado. Kumbaga sa masteral ka na. Hindi na yung super English. Ang maganda ay masarap ang luto. Doon tayo. Kasi English to be followed. Di ba? Pero ang masarap daw away the food is break. Yung lang naman. Kung masarap, masama ang ginawa mo, hindi masarap. Talagang hindi ka online. So yan po yung mindset ko ng aking eskwelahan, lalo-lalo na sa artista. Kasi ang aking eskwelahan ay under artista. 6 months culinary diploma. So some of my graduates are sa abroad na. At some of them ay mayroon sariling business.
Tsaka gusto na makita mga artista.
Ayun po. Kaya kasama po talaga siya.
Alright? Congressman?
Yes.
Yes po, no? Medyo very short on time. But kung sino man yung gustong mag-usap about what I did, anong plano ko pa, siguro gusto I can sit down with you, like a one-on-one mentor. That's very important. Hindi ma-explain na in 3 minutes.
Ayan, si Congressman nag-tweet na together with P. Joey, di ba?
Yeah, then I would like to commend DTI family.
Yeah.
ISB Corporation.
Palakpan natin ang buong DTI family.
Especially the presidential advisor ng entrepreneurship, Mr. Joey.
So, gusto natin nangyari dito, with all the agenda, at yung mga kailangan natin gawin, no, from yung 8 and tayo, MSMEs, kailangan patuloy at talaga yung word rin, yun ang gusto natin. We keep to be motivated para yung 8M na yun, ma-realize natin, which is sa atin at sa atin lamang mangyayari at magagamit. Pag nangyari kong lahat yun, makikita natin, mas maraming champion yes, Congressman.
I would like to throw this as a challenge to BBM family. Galing ako in Thailand. Sa atin, was for 60% ng 63% of the labor force properties, di ba? Sa Thailand, 78%.
78.
Yeah. And sa kanila, 90%. Ang percentage contribution to GDP sa atin is 35%. Sa kanila is 42%. And they are targeting 50% by year 2020. So sana ang sa DBM family sana mabigyan ng suporta. We all agree na kung nasa 5-6 tayo, hindi tayo asenso. That's a party list of content, asenso party list. So kailangan mabigyan ng pundo to support the SMEs.
Sabi nga natin, susunod, mas maraming champion entrepreneurs ang makikita natin, hindi lamang sa kwartong to, but sa buong Pilipinas. Kaya ba namin tayo na? Thank you sa panelists natin at maraming salamat kung natakali natin. Thank you.
Maraming salamat sa ating moderator, Paolo TV, Coordinator Nadia, Mr. George Lopez, with the Presidential Advisor on Entrepreneurship, Joey Concepcion, for a photo together with our speakers for our panel on the mindset. A reminder to please upload your photos online using our hashtag. The hashtag to use is MSME Summit. At tuloy pa rin po yung ating Mentor Me on Wheels program sa labas. Sa hindi pa nakaka-register sa labas, please make sure to drop by sa mga gusto magpa-mentor sa ating Go Negosyo Mentors na nakasuot ng green t-shirts. Please join us right outside. Our mentoring sessions will continue only up to 3 p.m. And right now, mga kaibigan, right after we are finished with the photo opportunity here today, lunch, the lunch buffets will be open. We have lunch at both sides of the room, so please feel free to line up at our lunch. For our speakers, our panelists, our friends from the government and moderators, please don't worry. Lunch will be served at your tables. And again, this ends the morning session ng ating National MSME Summit. Palakpakan po natin yung ating mga moderators, speakers, panelists, at ating mga kasama coach at their tables that we'd like to accommodate to mamaya konti po. So again, please do stand up, have your lunch at the same time. Sa mga hindi pa nakaka-register sa ating roadshow panels, eventually, please feel free to approach our registration table outside. Again, we will see you after lunch. Our resume at exactly 1 p.m. Again, our program will resume at exactly 1 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, while the lunch is ongoing, we will have 2 historic Memorandum of Understanding signings here on stage. So please do stand by.